the live stream like here. All right. Now we're live. All right, first person in the chat, holler at me. Let me know if we are live on YouTube. All right. Now we're live. I'm checking my audio, so that's good. We should be good. All right. All right, let me share this to Facebook. And then we shall get started. Wait a little while for the I wish I could just like save everybody I tagged to a group. Maybe I can, but I just don't know about it. But I'll just tag some people here and go. Some of my go-tos. All right, people. We'll share that to Facebook. I'm gonna check the live stream over here. Let's see if anybody's logging in. And it'll give them a few minutes still to go. And then we'll be off to the races. We'll start talking about some of this crazy stuff going on in the league. I'm going to bring up this Facebook thread that we were talking about. And so I can address some of these questions. Here we go. See, what I'm going to do is bring it up on my phone. All right, we're good. We're good there. Still waiting for people to jump on. Yeah, it's been a wild week for the BEBL, man. They have, it seems like it's been really challenging for them. I don't know what's going on, but that's the whole thing. One of the biggest problems is we don't know what's going on. So we have to try to figure out what's going on. We go to Facebook and then it just ends up being a guessing game because everybody's just spewing all kind of stuff on Facebook. So then it's a challenge for me to even find out what's going on. I can't imagine how it is for the average fan to find out what's going on, whether there'll be a game, whether there not be a game, and then all the forfeited games, the home teams, seeming like the home teams are going to play away games, star players boarding planes right before the playoffs, guns and alcohol. It's the wild west out there, I guess. So we got some people on. I'll give it a few more minutes. And then we're gonna just go and I guess we're gonna see what happens, man. But I'm just gonna cover, like I said, I'm gonna cover what was on that post earlier. I am going to drop a link here in the in the YouTube chat, and it's invite link. We'll try this. And then I'll pin it to the top, and anybody that wants to come on, just open up. Oh, that's just a Zoom link. And so I'm going live through Zoom. So you guys can just click on that, jump in. If you want to, I'll let you in, and you guys can, I'll give you all a platform to say what y'all think. And we'll go from there. I hope we get some more people in here to have a little lively discussion. So I'll just keep waiting a little while longer. Let's just do something a little fun, just a little off the top. Some of the posts regarding the BEBL in on Facebook over the past week or so. Let's see. Mentions. All right, let's see the mentions. Penny Brooks says that's what's going on in the BEBL. Who knows what he's talking about? If Joe always says if the teams in the BEBL cannot develop outside shooting, we may never see better defense, or most offensive set plays may never work the way they're designed. And believes we're seemingly trying to copy the American game. We should start applying some of the European game. When everyone on the court is a threat to shoot, the bigs can dominate down low. If you don't believe me, watch the Denver series coming up, the Joker. With that written, let's go Sharks. Ramil said, I guess the net for the All-Star game was messed up. He said, man, they can't fix the net for the All-Star game. I'm sure this is not all of them, but let's just go to some other posts that don't even mention that. Let's just see. Oh, man. I don't know. All right, man. I'm just going to get into it. I'm not going to wait any longer. We're just going to go and start talking about what I see. And like I said, anybody want to jump in that chat, jump in it. I'm going to pin this message to the top, and y'all can go from there. Comment, like, share. If you think of anybody wanting to see it, just hit them with a share, tag them, and we're off, man. All right, going back to the post about this. So the first comment on it was by Ramil Arana. Is it Arana? Yeah, Ramil said, I said, what should we talk about tomorrow night? And then Ramil said, the overall structure needed for a league to function properly, things that need to be fixed for next year. Well, if it's to start off with, like, I don't really know how it's structured. I'm not deep into it like that. But the first thing I came up with was communication/media. I think the BEBL needs to do, they're doing such a terrible job of covering the league and keeping the fan base involved on what's going on. Like, we don't know half the time. Like this week, I could tell there was something going on, but I had to jump on Facebook. Like just today, I made a phone call where I found out that the Hurricanes Dangria game was not going to be played. And then after that, I got on Facebook and I noticed that the BEBL did post something saying that, you know what, it's postponed till next week, Friday. But I had someone reach out to me that had bought a plane ticket to go see Dangriga play this weekend. And now that is, I should say, wasted money. I'm sure they got family, but like that was their main reason for traveling. So can you imagine how pissed off that person has to be after spending who knows how much money on an airplane ticket and then the game just being postponed? Like, you know, the day before the game, you get the news that the game is postponed and moved off to the next week. Like that just is very unprofessional and it's unacceptable. And I think the league has to, like, starting with number one, has to do a whole lot better job of communicating what is going on, because the fan base wants to know. People are trying to make plans, You can't expect teams to promote a game finding out the day before that they're playing or not playing. Excuse me. So number one is communication, and then the number two, what I have down here is just too many appeals. Like, I don't really know what can be done about this, man, but like, it seems like every decision made by the commissioner or by whoever, by the appeals committee or the disciplinary committee, as they're called, whatever decision is made is appealed. It's like everything is appealed, and it's like everybody is just looking out for numero uno, trying to get their way. And I understand everybody's trying to get their way, but man, like, at some point, I think people just got to agree to disagree and move on for the greater good, because this is bigger than just your team, or it's bigger than just this individual or that individual or this ownership or that ownership. It's about basketball moving forward in the whole country. So I think that is a huge thing. Too many appeals. Like I said, I don't have the solutions to that. Stricter rules on forfeiting games. Man, it was crazy because, like, I work, so I can't be on Facebook all the time trying to figure out what's going on with the BEBL. I just do this for the fun of it. Like, I'm passionate about basketball and I love Belize, and it gives me a way of staying in touch, right? So I can't get on Facebook all the time trying to figure out what's going on. I would love to be able to just go to a website, to the BBL website or the BBL Facebook page, and be able to get a press release saying that this is what's going on this week. And then, you know what, like, all I'd have to do is read the press release and I know what's happening, right? But no, I got to go on. I got to depend on my guys like Bearsport and Garvin, and then try to piece together this stuff, and then make a phone call to a team owner or like a friend of mine that might know what's going on. It's just crazy just trying to piece together like what's going on. So that was kind of what happened with the last, I think it was the last 4 games of the season. Okay. So there was a rematch, that the white jersey rematch, right? So Defenders was supposed to go back and play Orange Walk. Then the Defenders lost to San Pedro. And I think that kind of took them making the playoffs out of their hands, but it depended on some other results. So now the Defenders had to go play Orange Walk. That was left on their schedule. I'm going to try to not butcher this. I'm trying to get this right. But then the Hurricanes had to play Belmont. Belmont had to go to San Pedro yet, and San Pedro had to play the Hurricanes. So San Pedro had 2 games left, and those were the Defenders are the main competitor, or the main person competing, main team competing for the 4th spot. So obviously, like, if San Pedro loses those 2, the Defenders are in. But what happens is, so this is the version I got. I'm sure the people have versions. Is like, this is the version I got. Supposedly, the Defenders say, you know what, after they lost to San Pedro, they're not going to play the white shirt rematch. And so now San Pedro gets wind of that, and they're like, well, if they're not going to play that, then it doesn't make sense that we play any more games, because it's just a waste of money to get the teams out to San Pedro. And Belmont's already struggling financially. Supposedly they needed help getting out there. And so, like, we're just going to save everybody money and not go out there. Well, to preface all of that, there was an owners meeting. So the owners sit down and they agree. This is what the standings look like. So we got the Hurricanes in 1, we got Orange Walk in 2, we got Dangriga in 3, and San Pedro in 4. So we forfeit these games. All the owners agree that this is what the standing is. Hurricanes are going to be 1, OW 2, Dangriga 3, and San Pedro 4. So that puts the Hurricanes playing San Pedro in the first round, and it puts Dangriga playing Orange Walk in the first round, which I like those matchups. I think they make for exciting basketball. They enter in, the commissioner enters in the results, the forfeited results, into the FIBA stats page. The FIBA stats page does its thing and calculates the points. Bam, the Hurricanes end up in 2, Orange Walk ends up in 1, Dangriga in 3, and the last 2 spots don't change. Well, now that some people went back on their word, because Orange Walk now It's like, we're not giving up the number 1 seed. That's what the website says. So we're being the number 1 seed. Hurricanes now protest the fact that they forfeited the game, and turns into this whole debacle because people can't keep their word. So stricter rules on forfeiting. No matter what, they got to play the games. Like, the games got to play out. Like, do you see any NBA games being forfeited? Like, I don't know of any league where they're forfeiting the games just because, you know what, maybe it doesn't matter. So that's a whole long story just to try to understand what's going on from the forfeiting spot, and then that mix up with the teams, with Hurricanes being number 1 and then all of a sudden falling to number 2 and Orange Walk being number 1. That's that. Move on to I'm just going to cover this right away. So then the game this weekend, the BEBL page comes out and says that the Hurricanes are going to Dangriga to play game 1 because the Civic is booked. Well, then back and forth, the Hurricanes don't want to play game 1 on the road. That's something, I can't remember exactly what happened there, but it's like, nope. They were still trying to get the number 1 seed. Finally, the Hurricanes concede, say, you know what, we're just going to make this thing move on. So we'll take the number 2. But then they're going to play next week, Friday. I don't know, man. It sounds like a whole lot of stuff, like, and it is a whole lot of stuff. And I hate having to cover this. Like, I feel like I need to cover this because nobody is covering it, but I don't like to. It's boring, and I feel like it benefits no one really because I'm doing the BEBL's job. All right, second comment in that thing. We'll move on. If anybody got anything to say about that, man, just drop it in the comments. I don't see anybody commenting so far, but that's all good. If y'all want to jump on the live, let me see. Nobody trying to get on. Click on the link, man. Get in. I'll let y'all in. Rumil, you said you would help me out. I don't know if you're in here, but I should shoot you a message. All right. Rumil said, I said I'm going to need help on that one, on the overall structure of the league, and he said it's a tough one indeed. Maybe just the cosmetic changes that need to be done based on the mess of a season going on. I'm sure I can chime in on some of the incidents and give what can be done to offset some problems. We have plenty of people with basketball knowledge as well. So if any of y'all want to chime in on what y'all think can be done to better this situation, then just feel more than welcome. Click that link and get in there. All right. And my boy Petey Pablo, he said an investigation needs to be done on Bobo. I mean Bobo. Why are we allowing uncertified referees to ref a FIBA sanctioned tournament? All right, so this one on Beresford's and Keith's show, they had on Karim Juan a few weeks ago, and the part that I caught, he was talking about referees being certified, and it is really the logistics of it. It's difficult to get referees certified, like by FIBA. There was one certified referee, and that was I think Melvin Pinello, and he, after the first game of the season, we all know what happened there. Then he gave it up. He wasn't gonna. He didn't want to do it anymore. But he was certified by FIBA, so that's that. I mean, I don't necessarily agree that you have to be certified by FIBA to ref in the BEBL because, I mean, we don't have FIBA certified referees. However, I don't know if it's a players unit. I don't know what body is to hold Bobo accountable, but there needs to be some transparency within these organizations and these what, I don't know if they're federations or organizations within these groups. We need to know like how they prepare, like there needs to be accountability. So what are they doing to get better? How are they preparing for games? Like, are they watching game film? I feel like it should be mandatory for after every game. It's just a part of your being paid that you rewatch that game and note all your calls, all your missed calls, and all of that stuff. And it might seem like a lot, but you're getting paid to do a job, and so you have to do it to the highest level. So there needs to be some, I feel like, some sort of accountability, and maybe there is, but like I said, I just don't know. The film thing should be mandatory, in my opinion. All right, moving on. I don't really know what to do about that. Like, if anybody has some suggestions on the refereeing situation, Paul seems to feel like there has been some really biased stuff, which I understand, but it's hard to be objective when you're a part of a team. Like, when you're a part of the team that you feel is getting wrong, it's hard to be objective. So I think there needs to be a body that is not tied to any organization, any team that what would you say, evaluates the referee's performance, and see what's going on there. Um Someone said the BEBL commissioner and the reassurance of the league. Man, I wish maybe I should have reached out to the commissioner again today and just seen if he'd have got on tonight. I just don't. That's one thing I don't understand. I like Chris. I think he's a great guy. But I don't feel like he's fulfilling the role of the commissioner to the best of his ability. And one thing that could really, really help that is if he would just get on the internet, get on Facebook, get on any platform, and just address the public and let us know what's going on. Next, this is a juicy one. Jared says, is Stanback really gone? Well, so this was on, what day was it? Shoot, I don't remember what day it was, but I get a message with a picture that shows Stanback boarding a plane. So I'm like, hey, what's going on? And the person says there was an incident over the weekend. And I'm like, well, this must be a serious incident. So I bam, get on the phone, make a couple phone calls, and I get the story. All right. And the crazy thing is, you got to take stories with a grain of salt, because there's only, I wasn't there. I don't know exactly what happened. And so the thing that I'm finding out is that a lot of times when stories are told, like, there are details left out because it's obviously from one person's perspective. And this is the perspective I got. I don't know if y'all want to hear it. Maybe y'all don't want to hear it. If someone wants to hear it, like, hit me up in the comments, man, because nobody's commenting. Y'all need to get active. If y'all want to hear the Stanback story, holler at me in the comments. All right. Jared said, I didn't know about the incident yet when I made that comment. Well, I guess you do now, Jared, but I'll put it out there because it's like everybody is afraid. Like, and this is why I'm saying, like, everybody. It's just like when I made this is kind of funny, but when I made who's Emmanuel Flowers on Facebook post, like, everybody knows who they say it is, or my inbox got flooded with two names, right? And nobody's gonna say it. And so I'm gonna say it. It was the two names. It was one was Paul Flowers, which is the owner of the Hurricanes, and one was Gilbert Gordon, another owner of the Hurricanes. And so that's who they say Emmanuel Flowers is. And so I don't know why they're hiding behind a fake profile. I think they should just be out in the open. If they want to comment as owners, that's totally fine, man. You have an opinion. You're a person. You're just because you own the team don't mean you can't be a fan, right? Jared said he wants to hear about Dan Griga. So I guess after the All-Star game, there was guys do what guys do. They went out. They were having a good time. There was alcohol. And this is the Orange Walk players accompanied by a coach, I guess. I don't know if they were all together. At some point they were. So the coach, players go out, having a good time. The club closes down. They go back. They've been drinking, hanging out at the hotel. There's some argument that ensues between players that just being loud, I guess. Coach comes out of his room and says to said Stanback player, shut the F up. And Stanback says, I'm a grown man. You don't talk to me like that. It escalates. I don't think it got physical, but there was a firearm drawn. I don't know to what extent it was drawn. That's the story. There was a firearm pulled, and Stanback felt threatened, and he didn't feel safe. Hence, he boarded the plane, went back to, I guess he's from Jersey, right? Jersey boy. So that's Jared. That's the version I got. I won't stand up in a court of law. but that's the version I got. Now, what I have issue with is the silence surrounding that. I mean, John Morant just shows I'm a fan of guns. I got guns around. I got guns in the safe. I got guns up here, but you don't see me up here like, John Morant in it. Neither am I pulling guns and pointing them at people. And alcohol and guns don't mix. And just like drinking and driving don't mix, right? And so like I think it's unwise there. There was some unwise choices made. Um However, I don't know. Does it fall within the realm of the league to discipline coach, to discipline Troy Gabb Jr.? I don't know. I feel like something needs to be done. That's just my personal opinion. I mean, not on, bottom line is like a gun, and if someone feels threatened, that means their life feels threatened, and life is above everything. Like life is above basketball, above everything, and so, um, yeah, I feel like the league should have stepped in or should step in, but silence again. Um, Life goes on. So now Hurricanes. I don't know if one or two players left. I don't know if Brian Hudson left. I haven't heard. But Stanback's gone. I reached out to him today to try to get a comment. We chatted a little bit, but he said nothing directly about that incident. All right, moving on. Moving on. Shepard Clarence Shep said, "It is a league that needs help, big time help. The prize needs to be bigger, way bigger. Limit players that have not lived in Belize, whether Belizean or not. I would say to two. Also limit players to a district, city, or town. Grow the league. Do not rush. Train players to be professionals and role models. Eventually include a Chetumal, Guatemalan teams. Think big, but be cautious. Mandate strict background checks and place a drug/alcohol policy. We need our tax dollars involved. Government and Ministry of Sports involved is vital for growing industry. A lot can be done. Have the All-Star game in Cancun. Oh, heck, I'm dreaming. Peace out." And Alex responded to that. Alex Carcamo said, "Shepard Clarence, no real professional wants to play outside. That's why those teams get the crappy end of the stick. You can't show an agent or a team an outside court game and be taken seriously." That's big facts there by Alex. Like that just does not look right. And that's pretty much what it was about the comments. So guys, that's all the drama in the league. Anybody got anything to say? Anybody want to jump on and give their input? Because I'm like running out of things to say. I don't know what to say about that. We're just gonna move into some basketball analysis, maybe some we're gonna talk about the game that is going to be played. So Orange Walk versus San Pedro, I guess, in this situation. I know Alex had wanted to comment, but I don't see anything from him. I don't know if he can't comment or if I told him to just inbox me if he needs to say something, but I haven't heard a thing. So anyways, moving on. Orange Walk versus San Pedro. So now with Stanback gone, I feel like that changes the dynamic a whole lot. Like Orange Walk will be missing Stanback. That's a fact. I mean, even if Stanback doesn't score 20, 25, 30, like he still impacts the game because he's a threat and you have to play a threat. Now you got as far as outside shooting, you still got TJ, you got, if Hudson's still there, you got Brian Hudson. He can shoot it a little bit. Then you got Leon Jacobs, but Leon, I don't think is going to be playing big minutes. So there, it's going to be challenging. I think given this scenario, I have to give, and then that doesn't even factor in the psychological, the energy that the team is dealing with now that whole incident went down. Like that alone in itself can change the whole game for Orange Walk. So when nothing has been said publicly, I don't know how much the Orange Walk public knows, but if they show up there's no Stanback. They have, a weakened team, like that's going to be detrimental to the fan base as well. They have home court advantage, however, so if they can win at home, San Pedro's gonna be tough though. Hey Al, you just want to get on, man? You can come on here and voice your opinion because you're one not to mince words. So if you want to just jump on, you can. I can shoot you that link. Hold on, guys. Let me send Alex a link. I don't know if he can click on it on there. Anyways, so I think I'm gonna go with San Pedro in that one. Alex said he'll get on here, so oh, shoot, they don't do that either. Just messing up left and right, y'all. All right, I'll just shoot Alex a link here. All right, guys, hold on 1 second. Let me hit Al up with the link. All right, we'll see. Oh, Jared Bowden wants to come in. All right, hold on. Jared, can you hear me? He's connecting audio and cannot hear you yet. So we're just waiting on Jared to get in. Hey, Jared.
Hey, what's up, man?
How you pronounce your name, bro? Jared or
Jared? Yeah, Jared.
Jared Bowden? What's up, bro?
Yeah, man. The league has been it's been a wild ride, especially for me as a Defenders fan.
To say the least.
It's been a real. What I wanted to ask you, like I listed out a bunch of questions. I tried to keep it mostly related to basketball because you know there's been a lot of drama and whatnot. So I just wanted to focus on basketball with the questions, but like I said, I'm a Defenders fan, so I wanted maybe a couple of answers from you.
Yeah,
Maybe a little bit of insight into your opinion. And one of the questions I really wanted to who do you think has the most responsibility on for them kind of flaming out?
Oh, for like the Defenders, how their season ended up?
Yeah.
Well, as much as like it's kind of a scapegoat, I think first of all, like we have to take into context the fact that Dev went down. Like they still played well after he went down, but that like to me that was the biggest hit because I feel like Dev is more than points, more than a good teammate. He's stability to the team. He's senior leadership. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that would be my first one. But then if we go on and say, all right, moving on, like they seem to play, they played well after Dev like went down. Like, I mean, they beat the Hurricanes the game after that. But then they went, I think, on a 3-game skid, which it was a tough part of the schedule for them. I think I really can't like put it on one person, but I would say Nigel's numbers went down, and they, not that I'm saying it was Nigel's fault, but they needed Nigel to produce at the level he was producing in order for them to be not just
for sure.
but to win, and so Nigel's numbers dropping off at the end, be it that it was good defense or he just kind of hit a slump, that I think that was detrimental, and it happened at a time when they needed him the most. And I'm gonna add to that because like the way I read the Defenders early, like after they beat the Hurricanes the first time around, I felt like Nige was gonna be like their stable guy, like he's gonna come out and give you 20. But then I felt like the X factor and the person that would make the team go was what's his name? Dillard, Lorenzo. And so like Lorenzo had 2 great games to start off, and then it was like that's the Lorenzo we came to expect. And then after that, like he dropped off, and he never showed us that again. So I think those 2 guys were like what happened with those 2 guys was key in their like being eliminated from the playoffs. But even like I feel like I really had them competing for a championship, to tell you the truth. So
Yeah, well, obviously I did too, man.
yeah, I
But
feel
um, personally, um, but what I could see, especially going off the game that they played against the Hurricanes the second time, I think, and this is why I'm gonna. No, actually, it's two parts. I'm a fan, man, and I'm still 19, right? So I still hope one day I could play, but
oh, for sure, bro.
I think see, seeing this take is gonna probably stop me, but I think it was the coach, man. It- um, all I saw in that game, I don't know if you can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you loud and clear.
All right, yeah. All I saw in that game was Jones, not just Jones, but multiple players when when the Hurricanes went on runs, multiple players would try to play for like a dribble drive, like that was all, like a drive and kick. They pound the ball up top, say 8, 9, 10 times, and then drive. And in that, because of that, the Hurricanes, who have a tall, fast, athletic, talented strap, like they're like a deep team. They had their heels dug in, basically ready, and they like Jones was driving against five guys all the time. To me, that's what it looked like. He was driving against five, getting hard shots, and it just wasn't worth it to me. Like, he's talented, but he was working too hard for shots that weren't as high quality as I would like to see. And I think that goes back to the coaching. I don't think they were I don't think they were really prepared to get they were really prepared in terms of finding a weakness and trying to exploit it. I think they just they put Jones out there, and Dillard to some extent, and even Ty Bradley I saw at one point, which was no disrespect to him, but that was crazy to me.
Yeah,
Um, up top, trying to do that same dribble drive type of thing, that same drive and kick type of thing, which is, I don't know. I just they were working too hard for bad shots. Well,
I
not
think
bad shots, but shots that weren't. You want high quality shots, efficient shots.
yeah, I think that's an
So
excellent.
that was what I thought. That was my thing, and also the roster construction. Now that was another thing that I didn't put there. What do you think about the roster? Do you think those are the best players the defenders could have gotten?
I know a little inside on that. I think they were limited in terms of dollars, and because of sponsorship issues. I mean, there's two teams battling for sponsorships in the city, and so yeah, there was some stuff that happened, I think, that restricted that money from coming to the defenders like they wanted. But like, man, I don't know, because like I look at, like, I think someone asked, it was several weeks ago, like, who which team do I think has the best chance of beating the Hurricanes come down the stretch? And my response was like, I don't see anybody doing it. And I went into an explanation as to why. And it was because it lends to what you're saying, about the execution and about the lack of offense. Notes, like, I see Dangriga plays the same way. The defenders play the same way. Orange Walk probably runs. I would say they execute on they have a game plan and execute on it probably as well as anyone. And I can't say that with conviction because I haven't really studied them. But the other teams I've watched them play a lot. And it always comes down to 95% of baskets are made off of individual plays, a player
Yeah,
creating themselves, or they're creating for their teammate, and not out of executing a.
exactly.
And
That's
so,
exactly it. And against a team like the Hurricanes, which, not to like I said, I'm a Defenders fan. I really don't like the Hurricanes. I'm not gonna say I don't like them, but they're like rivals, right? So
For sure.
yeah, not what what am I trying to say? I don't to beat that team. They are the most talented team, and so you can't try to out talent them. And that's
Yep.
that's what I think. You have to beat them. Like you have to beat them in terms of your game plan and trying to get all the 50-50 balls. Small things like that.
Yes.
And I really didn't see that from the defenders, man. It really hurt my heart.
Yeah. That's very good insight, Jared. Very good insight.
Yeah. What else was there that was on the thing? Because let me
Oh,
go and look for it.
let me check it. I can find it right now. Hold on. Yeah, I'm
Forgive
sorry.
me if I sound a bit chilly. I'm at work, man. I just got off work.
No worries, no worries. I didn't I know I read like the first thing and then I got distracted on your comment, but I remember you had some good questions. All right, is stand back really gone? That led me. All right, cool. It says how does the schedule adjustments help or hurt the Dream Ballers against the Benny's
So
Billy?
that was before they changed back. So
Yeah. Who has more pressure to win, the Dream Ballers or the Hurricanes? I think bottom line is the Hurricanes have to win. Anything less than a championship for the Hurricanes would be a huge disappointment for them.
mm. But
Just,
I asked that question in light of like the Dream Ballers being, hit with the label of playoff chokers. So like, what do you think about that?
it's true. I mean, they've been killer in the regular season and I don't think they've ever made a final. If they've never made a final, they've never won a playoff series, and that's pretty that's pretty amazing for me to think I'm pretty sure that that's right because they have never been in the finals. But given like Dan Griga has always been good. Like, I mean, I played in the league for what, 6 or 7 years, and Dan Griga has always, even when they were the Warriors, like they played well.
Yeah.
So it's surprising to me that they have never been in the finals. So like, yeah, from that perspective, they they need to win. There is a lot of pressure on them.
All right. All right. All right.
I think now the next question you had is how likely is the San Pedro over Rebels upset? I believe that given the situation now, it's very likely.
I I thought so as well from before.
Yeah,
Actually, I thought it was very likely,
yeah,
and um, I think Jihad right. And what's their big guy's name? Kyle Stewart, I think. Is that his name?
yes, yes,
Yeah, they're along with Rico Black, who is a great coach.
yeah.
Well,
I you
well,
know you know
yeah,
my take
I
my
think
take
that would
on
have been
Rico
too much.
my take on Rico is a hell of a leader. Like
Yeah,
Rico, I don't know that they practice a whole lot. I don't know that they run much sets. I don't know, but Rico has a
yeah,
way of getting guys to believe. Like he gets the
yeah.
most out of guys, and like yeah, like from what I say, Rico is a heck of a leader, man.
He's a great coach off vibes, man. That's what you call it.
I guess so.
But
Uh,
it's funny because I read the post that you had, and it was the thing about watching film,
yeah, yeah,
and he replied to me, "You don't watch any film. He's never watched, and he never will."
yeah. He said that's a piss you off.
That no, I actually think that's crazy because I wish you had done this open when my defenders were relevant, man. Because I watched the games, especially when they had been putting them up on TNC,
Yeah,
and bro, I was breaking them down to my little brothers. To anyone who would listen, I would break down the film, man, and it is extremely extremely frustrating. And I think so much could be earned if the players really would if the teams would come together and see what's wrong so they could build off of it for the next game, as opposed to just, okay, we'll try again, we'll try harder next time.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, you're 100% right, Jared. I like your view, because the thing, I'm gonna give you like a firsthand experience type take on this, because like for me, playing in Cayo for however long I played, like we, especially like during the years of Bernitar, we would put in sets, and we actually executed like fairly well, but it is hard. Like there's something with Belize basketball where like you can go over plays in practice, and then come game time, and I think Alex Carcoma could attest to this. Come
It's
game
hard to
time, like,
execute the plays, right?
you just throw it out the window and you hoop. Like that's
No, no, I agree with you. Actually, about a year ago,
I think I
yeah.
lost you. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Now I can, yes.
Okay. About a year ago, I played for Coach Reese, Roscoe Reese,
Yes.
and yeah, I've heard you sing his praises before, and it's true. I'm gonna tell you. I think we had a very what's the word? I don't want to say our team was less talented than there were a lot of guys who just play basketball every now and again, and we were executing plays. We were running backs and running the different small little plays, and Coach Reese definitely deserves more recognition and more credit than he gets, because he did a lot in terms of getting us ready when we got to play against Future Shock, another team that's that's a youth team that executes plays like that. So what do you think about Polo? Why hasn't Polo gotten a chance to
I
coach,
don't
the head
I
coach
don't
a team?
know. Like I have never, like, I've, obviously I've met Polo, like seen him around. I have never seen his style of coaching. I've never like experienced him as a coach. Like, he's been around national teams, but never in a sense of, all
Yeah.
right, like, guys, this is what we're doing, we're running this, that, the other, but more just of an inspirational figure. So like, yeah, I really can't talk to that, because I don't know. And I know I think he has his own youth program, right? You there, Jared? I don't know if we lost you, bro. I know I can't hear you. All right, guys, I don't know if we lost Jared or not. Jared, are you there? Yeah. Anyways, seems like we lost Jared. Let me see here. Maybe he can come, maybe he'll come back in. I don't know what's going on. All right.
Can you hear me? Sorry about that.
Yeah, I got you
Yeah.
now.
So sorry, I'm on my work internet, man. Like I said, I think you went live earlier today.
No,
Is
I
it
didn't.
usually 6:30?
No, yeah. Well, 6:30 Belize time. It's normally 7:30
Mm.
my time. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I don't know. Usually I'm at home by this time then, because I usually listen from at home. But yes, he does. He does. No, actually, now that I think of it, his team isn't. His team isn't the. He's not the head coach of his program again, but his program has folded into Coach Reese's program. So he's
Okay. So
yeah.
he's
So
part of that.
so
That's
he
that's
he's
cool.
not necessarily the head coach, but in terms of like day-to-day practices and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, Reese. I admire Reese
Yeah,
for.
he's not head coach.
All right, bro. Cool. Well, I think I'm gonna try to wrap this up, bro. I appreciate you calling in and giving your input is really in. I really appreciate your view, and I think you're somebody that seems like you study the game, so I really appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thank you for for the opportunity, and thank you for what you've been doing. You know, I think you're a huge asset to the league, and you're doing this pro bono, right? So
Yeah, for sure.
um, we we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you. Look forward to maybe seeing you get a head coach
I
role or something.
never know. Maybe it'll have to be. I'll be advisor.
Yeah, 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 man.
No,
Have a good night.
I'd love to see you in the league, bro. I would love to see you.
I hope so. I hope so, man.
Yeah, well, it's possible as long as you believe it is.
Yeah,
All right, bro. Take care.
yeah. You too, man.
All right, folks. That was nice to have him call in. Let's check out now. I think y'all, that was it. I'm gonna give you my pick for this weekend. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say San Pedro wins the game in Orange Walk. I think that one is still on. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Rico Black and the boys. Y'all, it's been fun. Sorry to all the Lakers fans out there. Y'all went home. Sorry, but not sorry. Oh man. Yeah, that was something I was thinking of talking about too, was LeBron, but I'm not. I'm gonna leave that for another time. I will leave that for another time. Alex was gonna try to get on, but he said his internet's bad, so he can't make it on. Next time, Al, we look forward to having you guys. Once again, I appreciate each and every one of you for logging in and listening to me ramble for about an hour. I hope I can add a little value to y'all's life. I look forward to doing a little, maybe a little more in-depth breakdown of some game film, whether it be NEBL or just for demonstration purposes, some other film. I'm trying to think of if I'm going to kind of keep this going. I don't know for sure if I'll keep it going after the BEBL is over, but I do want to turn this into a resource, this channel, this Richard Troyer basketball channel, into a resource for young guys like Jared Bowden and guys that want to learn the game and want to know what to work on and struggle with information overload from the internet. So with that said, guys, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you know of anybody that would be interested in this content, share this video, like this video, and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate y'all. Y'all are amazing for coming on, commenting, taking part in it. Until next time, y'all. God bless y'all. Stay safe. Peace.